This is the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee. We are meeting November 12th, 2025. Please call the roll.
Chairperson Mike Seville.
Present.
Vice Chair Patty Smith.
Here.
Alderman Javier Bañuelos.
Here.
Alderwoman Juani Garza.
Here.
Alderman at Large Will White. 4 present.
4 present. We have the first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes, 25-0901.
So moved. Second.
Approval of the minutes from the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee meeting held on October 29, 2025 has been moved by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any corrections, additions, or deletions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried 4-0. Do we have any members of the public wishing to give testimony and comment this evening?
Not for BZ&E.
Okay, we'll move down to the agenda then. 25-0885, an ordinance granting conditional use permit for community residence, minor use on the property located 1130 North Randall Road.
All right.
Welcome.
Good evening. Joanna Wu, planner, here to present on the subject property for 1130 North Randall Road for the conditional use permit. So the subject property is currently in R1 one-family dwelling district zoning. The petitioner is requesting approval of a conditional use for a community residence minor located at 1130 North Randall Road. A community residence minor is defined as a dwelling structure that is occupied by a group of 4 to 6 unrelated persons with disabilities with on-site support staff provided by its sponsoring agency. A community residence minor is a permitted use in all residentially zoned districts in all residential portions of planned developments as long as all requirements are met, such as state of Illinois licensing and separation requirements. The zoning ordinance specifies that no community residence major or minor shall be located within a radius of 1,320 feet from each other. Currently, an existing community residence minor is located within the 1,320-foot separation requirement. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a conditional use permit, and it is shown in this map. Envision Unlimited, Inc. is a nonprofit organization that provides care for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Community Integrated Living Arrangements, or CILAs, are residential programs designed to provide a natural family-like setting for these individuals. And staff has reviewed the conditional use ordinance petition and has determined that it meets the applicable codes and ordinances. And the existing community residence is located on 1340 Cottonwood Road in the Indian Trail Estates subdivision. And although it is within the 1,320-foot separation requirement, the subject property is not located in the same subdivision as the existing, and therefore the additional community residence minor should not impact the surrounding neighborhood. At the Planning and Zoning Commission, at the hearing, we had one person come to comment in support of this. So just consider that. If not, I have happy to answer any questions, or we can invite the applicant up to present.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the?
Can we hear from the applicant?
Yeah. Any questions first off for staff?
I have a quick question. Is the
Alderman
building going to stay
Bañuelos.
the same? Is there going to be any modifications to the building?
No modification. The existing structure is going to stay. It'll be just a single-family home, and 4 individuals will be living in it.
Thank you.
Will there be 24-hour supervision?
Correct.
Okay, just limited to usually one person.
They'll have at max 3 support staff
to
at all
3.
times, but there's always going to be one person there, and they won't be sleeping there. It's just they'll be on call, or
Okay.
sorry, they'll be staffed. But the petitioner can have a better explanation.
Sure.
I do
Okay.
have a question, but
Yes, Alderwoman Smith.
my question may be better for the petitioner. So the folks that are going to be living there, does this residency have a guideline to their abilities?
I'm going to defer that to
Okay.
the petitioner if that's
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'd like to invite the petitioner up, please.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, there are actually 2 of us. I'll be presenting with my colleague, Kristen. My name is Colleen Rosa, and I'm the Executive Vice President of IDD Services for Envision Unlimited.
And I'm Kristen Selkis. I'm the Director of Innovation for Envision Unlimited.
So Envision Unlimited is an organization that supports individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and we've been doing this for over 75 years. And our mission is to provide an opportunity for individuals to live in the community, work in the community, play in the community, contribute to the community. And so everything that we do is designed with the community in mind, and we've had an amazing experience with other communities that we're in. Again, 75 years of experience to help people live their best lives. We provide a full spectrum of services, including residential, day services, employment, counseling. All of the services are tailored to meet the individual needs of those that we serve. And with more than 5,000 individuals supported annually across Illinois, our person-centered community integrated model breaks down barriers. So we promote dignity, inclusion, and independence. ASILA. I know a lot of people don't know what ASILA is. It stands for Community Integrated Living Arrangement. It is a small home in a community. Our SILAs will, the SILAs in Aurora, the SILA will have 4 individuals. It's a 4-bedroom home. And so 4 individuals would live there. They would each have their own bedroom. Staff would not be living there. It's a very supportive family-style setting. The homes look like any other home in that particular community where the SILA exists. The residents have intellectual developmental disabilities, and they just require support so that they can live as independently as possible. Our home would be staffed 24/7, according to the level of support needed. Sometimes there's 2 staff, sometimes 3. And the staff that are there are background checked. It's a state requirement. We're licensed by the state of Illinois. And there are very strict requirements about licensure, so we do a lot of background checks on staff. They go through training and are certified and put on a state registry attesting to that certification. And again, SILAs are integrated in the neighborhood, so you don't even know it's a SILA because it looks like any other home in the block. And they're very well maintained. We have an excellent maintenance team, and we typically will contract out for landscaping and snow removal so that we ensure that those things are maintained. And Kristen is going to tell you about some of our members. We haven't identified the individuals who would live at this particular home, but just to give you a sense of what individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities are like.
Yeah, and I think this will answer Alderman Smith's question about the abilities. Of course, it's hard to say, what the particular abilities of an individual are going to be like, but this might give you a better idea of the type of person that could be your neighbor on Randall. So this is Marcus. He is a community volunteer out of our Westtown Community Day Program Center. And here you see him doing story time at a local library. He doesn't have paid employment, but he volunteers his time at the Chicago Public Library Storytime, at Working Bikes based out of Chicago, La Casa Norte, and Zero Landfill. So that's how he fills his time during the day. He also is a leader, and he leads the daily meetings out of his Westtown Center. And he's trained as a presenter. So he does public presenting all the time. He would do a better job presenting to you guys than I'm doing right now. He was actually honored by the ARC of Illinois, which is the agency-wide organization in Illinois for providers of IDD services. He was the Self-Advocate of the Year. So he's actually won multiple awards, and we're very proud of him for that. I know Marcus through swim club and buddy biking. He's a swimmer, he's a cyclist, and he does the Bike the Drive every year in the city of Chicago. He's an event planner. He organizes his own outings, decides what he wants to do. He works with his staff to schedule his activities and to get there. He can't transport himself, but he can call for a ride, and he can organize transportation through his staff. He contributes to our newsletter, and he engages in the weaving mill at our Westtown Center. So that just gives you an idea of one person that you might meet. The next is Jamie, and Jamie is really unique. She has, and quite a few of our members have this. It's a skilled food handler. It's a certified food handler certification. So she's actually been certified to do that, and she has employment serving food. She does that through our Westtown Center when we have events, which is really cool. She also created a newsletter feature in our Envision newsletter called Jamie's Poetry Corner. So she writes her poetry regularly and contributes that. And she's also a very confident presenter. She presents at our family meetings regularly, and even presents some of her own work and stories. So she's just an example of another community member that you might see at this home from Envision. And I think you can see that these individuals are very independent, but more so they self-direct their own lives. So even if they can't do something by themselves, they work with their staff to be able to contribute to the community. So why did we choose Aurora? So as Colleen alluded to, we have a very strict licensing process for our homes through the state. We have to follow a lot of rules and regulations. But the one thing we do get to choose is where our homes are located. And we really want an environment that's really welcoming and diverse. And Aurora definitely fits the bill there. This particular home has really good access to community life. It has access to bus routes, and it's very walkable, and that's very important, so that people can actively engage in the life there. It has access to healthcare providers, transportation, shopping options, which is important to the people we support. And we really believe that Aurora has a commitment to inclusion, so that, inclusion, dignity, opportunity for all, we believe that we share those values with the city of Aurora. When we saw this home, one thing in particular that made it a really good fit for us is it's all one level. So if we needed to modify the interior of the home so someone could age in place, if they had mobility difficulties as they age, that would make it easy for us. And then also it's a very safe environment too. So it's a safe community, and that's really important to us as well. The final thing is it has strong workforce availability. So, when we come here and we're an employer along with a service provider, we want to employ people who are local to the community. All right.
So just, so what you can expect in the community. So in Asilla, when Asilla is in the town, and I'm sure that you have many Scillas in your town. I know I have Scillas right down the street from me in Forest Park, and they're everywhere. But you don't know because they look like any other house in that neighborhood. But our members live, work, shop, play, and volunteer in that area. Our staff also contribute to the local economy. So when we have a Scilla, it creates 6 to 8 jobs in that region, and so our starting pay right now is $21.95 an hour for the direct care staff. Again, they're all certified by the state of Illinois. Our residents and staff love to be part of the community, and so you'll see them volunteering, participating in local events, using the library, the parks. They give back a lot. You saw Marcus, who volunteers at the library. Ongoing local spending. So we contract with local service providers for maintenance and plumbing, landscaping. We use grocery stores. We use restaurants. So all of that goes back into the community. So when Asilla is in a neighborhood, we're actually giving back to the community financially, but also when our individuals are volunteering and just being good neighbors. We actually have a good neighbor policy, and so we have very high expectations of for our staff and our members on how to be a good neighbor. Every new employee has to, gets trained on the good neighbor policy and signs off on it, and that's an expectation that we have. So that is a little bit about us, and I'll just leave you with some pictures of some of the events that our members engage in throughout the year. We have, Kristen talked about our buddy biking program, and we do a lot with buddy biking and just all sorts of wonderful things. Special Olympics, one of our members got to light the torch at the Special Olympics last year. That's our presentation, and we will do our best to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, thanks, Colleen. Any questions of the committee? Alderwoman Smith?
So I know my colleagues have heard me say this before, but this is a world I'm very, very familiar with. I have a 34-year-old daughter who has special needs, who does live independently. And we, in this area, have very high-level schools. Therefore, people come here for the education. Therefore, we have educated a very large amount of people with special needs that are still here. And we don't have enough of these places to give them places to live. And speaking from the personal experience, my daughter plays bunco once a month with 12 women, adult women with special needs, and she's the only one of the group that lives out on her own. She has a roommate, but out on her own. And they're all capable of it. It's just there's not enough of these facilities for our people with special needs. That's why I asked for abilities, because in my opinion, abilities are more important than disabilities. So I appreciate this. I look forward to supporting this. I think this is wonderful. You couldn't ask for better neighbors, and I'm happy to see you guys here. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Am I allowed to comment?
Please.
So I appreciate you bringing up the need for more SILAs. The state of Illinois has an enormous wait list, and there's not nearly enough community capacity, enough providers who are willing to open new SILAs. And so I would love to see more providers opening. And you have some wonderful providers like AID in Aurora. So
May I say one more thing
Yes,
before we
please
finish?
do.
Yes, so I'm from New York, and one of my sisters works for the state, and she is a manager, a director of many SILAs. So in New York, they're doing this right, and I'm happy to see that, and I really hope that Illinois can do its part by catching up with the need that we have here.
we hope that.
Do you have other community residences in Aurora?
No,
This is your first one?
we purchased 3 homes. The other 2 are not within the distance that Aurora sets.
And
The
you're-
state of Illinois has a different guideline for the distance rule. You can't be like next to, adjacent, or across from. And then Aurora has a stricter rule.
Mhm. Yeah, I think there's a community residence about a block away in my ward across the street. And then I think there's another one on Elmwood Drive, 3 blocks away, and they've integrated fine in the community. So they're just one of us, for sure.
That's very good to hear.
Yeah. So welcome to Aurora. Glad you're here. And as Alderwoman Smith says, we need this type of community residences in our city. So welcome. Wish you well.
Thank you.
A motion made by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other business to come before the BZ&E Committee? If not, a motion for adjournment is in order. Been moved by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderman Garza. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, motion carried. 4-0. We are adjourned, and it is 4:18 p.m. Thank you, one and all.